Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of Feral Reads. Today I'm going to be reading some two-sentence horror stories, or micro-horrors as people call them. I personally love this genre. It's taking so little and making so much out of it. I do have some favourites out there, and I decided to put my own hand to having a go. Some of them are gold, some of them are not, but I'm biased, so I may have a slightly skewed opinion of them. You'll have to see what you think. So without further ado, I give you some of the two-sentence horrors I wrote myself. Enjoy! Getting into bed, my boyfriend wrapped his arms around me and squeezed me tight as he always did. It's been much less comforting since his death last year. Living alone here, I often wondered how I could leave my bedroom light on so many times. Now, huddled here in the dark, I'm far more concerned with who just turned it off. He died in his sleep, surrounded by his family. It was recorded as a drink-drive incident. Someone laughing at your jokes is generally a good feeling. It's a little different when it's just the two of you sat on the sofa and the laugh came from behind you. I have a ghost that leaves sharp objects lying around the house, and I used to think it was trying to hurt me. I'm moving out, and I've finally got a glimpse of the thing it's been protecting me from. I've managed to convince myself that the scratching, scuffling and sniffing sounds I sometimes hear in the walls are just rats or mice. The quiet, childlike giggling is much harder to explain away. Everyone, myself included, has daydreamed up plans they think they'll execute perfectly and survive any situation. When the first of the explosions went off, all I actually wished I could do was hug my family one last time. I found out what comes next after you die. Get buried, donate your organs, burial at sea, but for the love of whatever deity you believe in, whatever you do, do not get cremated. He died with his family around him. His last thoughts after the knife was driven into his gut were wishing that he'd remembered to lock the door. After the crash, I was charged with driving without due care and attention. Really though, how are you supposed to not get distracted when you look in your rearview mirror and see yourself sitting in the back seat, grinning back at you? I stamped on the brakes slightly too late and heard the crunching of small bones after a young boy ran out in front of my car. I really wish his mother hadn't seen it happen, because now I have to hide two bodies, not just one. An overly friendly neighbour knocking on your door can feel awkward at the best of times. It just gets downright frightening after their burial. Well, there we have it. Some two-sentence horror stories written by myself. I even left in the ones I didn't like with this. There were a few I didn't like, but I don't want to whitewash history, so I left those in. I personally, the whole, I found out what comes next after you die, to me that just kind of smacks of the, and then I died, and then I wrote this trope, and while two-sentence horror stories, you can just about get away with that, it's just about the only place you can get away with that, you don't want to overuse it. The whole protagonist dying at the end of a story, at the end of a first-person story, just kills the whole story. He died in his sleep surrounded by his family. That just smacks of PSA to me, public service announcement. Whole don't drink and drive thing, just a little preachy. The overly friendly neighbour knocking on the door, that to me just seemed a little too predictable. But there are some who might still like it. When I originally wrote that one, it was actually after your burial, which may be different to some people, but again, that was another case of, and then I died and then I wrote this, and I just don't want to go into that too often. There were, however, a lot in here that I did like. Some of my personal favourites were I stamped on the brake too late and heard the crunching of small bones. To me, that one, I like it because it's the horror of the kid dying, and then you think it's actually going to be, ooh, his mother saw the whole thing, now it's terrifying, and then it's, no, actually I had to kill her as well. The first one on the list, though, the getting into bed, my boyfriend wrapped his arms around me. That one, I don't know what it is about that one. I can't even say myself what it is I like about that one, but that one sends shivers down even my spine. I don't know, if you've got anything you'd like to add, your own opinion on these, what were your favourites, which ones did you hate, let me know in the comments. If you liked what you saw, then hit that like button and subscribe for more. There'll be another one next week where I shall be reading some of my twisted, dark nursery rhymes. So tune in next week to see how that goes. Bye-bye. Keep being beautiful to each other.
I got something on me, something going